Hey guys, so in this lecture we're going to modify a little bit of our model that we created in the previous lecture, and we will create something like this. So the image, if you recollect from our slideshow, this is the same image from Imgur. When I click it, it opens up like a model window and the alt text gets displayed like this, and there is an icon to close. So usually when you have images on your website, you can easily convert them to a full screen image, or just to enhance the beauty of the image, like when you're creating a portfolio or something like that, you can use this JavaScript very easily. Now there are some changes that I made to the HTML and the CSS. I'll walk you through them too, although the skeleton of this will be ready, so we'll just be writing the JavaScript for it. Alright, so let's see the changes that we have. So first of all, I've added some image styling. So if you can see this image the way it is, when I hover over it, you can see the opacity changes. That's all done using these two style elements that you can see. So the content that you can see, even that has been updated to only 80% because I want the width of this image to be only 80%, because this rest of it should be black bordered. So the user should not see everything. So if I remove this, let's say, and I run it, this image will be completely full screen. But I don't want that to happen, so I will just change it to 80%. Similarly, a max width has been added. Then you also see the content out here, which is someone is watching. So that's nothing but an alt text that I display from the image that I'm using. And there's a caption styling that has been done to it. So this is how it will look like: white colored, it's block, it's at the center, and so on and so forth. Then I have added a cool animation. Of course, it's not adding, it's pretty much updating what we had for the model, but it appears to be zooming in. So that's the animation that's been added, and I've given it a 0.6 seconds of transition time. So you can feel the zoom that's happening. Okay. Then we also have the close button. Of course, the close button on the model was a little different. I've updated that close button and moved it out so that it appears to be, linked to the web page, and you can close it. Of course, there is a little change on the media too, just to make sure that the image fits in and the image content is 100% if the media or the window size is less than 700 pixels. That's all styling. Then we have added an image, which is what you're seeing here, this image, and the source of this image is from Imgur, and there's an alt text which is someone is watching. Okay, so that's very basic, just an image tag. Now how do you make it a modal image? So first you add a div, which is a class modal. Then of course you need a class of closing the image, and on click of this you just display it to null, which means the whole modal is displayed to null. And we also have content, which is image content, the content of the model, which is what you will display here, the actual image. So whatever is the image here, you will display it inside the model as well. And then we have the caption tag. So you can just run this again and you can see the caption. So this comes from the alt attribute. So how will we fetch that? Let me just remove the JavaScript that we have in place already that I had written to show you the demo. Now let's start coding it. So if you recollect, the first thing we need to do is first we need to fetch the model, which is this model class, right? So how do we do that? Well, very easily. We do a variable model is equals to document.getElement by ID my model. Very easy. Let's also get the images. Let's also get the images. So let's say if I want this image, I'll just use the ID with my image. Let me copy this. Let's say image img and ID is my image. Similarly, if I need to get the image inside, I have an ID of img01. So let me just rename it to img01. img01. So I got both the images. Let me also get the close button. So the way we get the close button is close is equals to document.getElements by class name, and in the class name we will pass the close class, and we will get the 0th element of that particular class. So now we have all the elements that we are using in this particular example. Now let's see what will happen. So the first thing you have to do is when you click on this, you need to make sure your modal div gets appeared. So how will you make that happen? Well, very easy. So img dot on click is equals to a function. Once you have the function, inside the function you can just do a modal dot style dot display equals to block. This will display the image. However, when you click this, it doesn't display any content. Well, the reason for this is the content also needs to be updated. So you will have to update the image 01, which is inside the modal, with the source of this, which is this particular image, is source. So the same image is used inside the modal. Let's try to see that. Now you can see the image, but the caption is still missing. So how do you do that? Well, just the way we did the source, we will also do the same thing for caption. Let's first get the caption block, which is id caption. So let's just copy this. Let's copy the caption. Let's the id caption. Copy this, and now let's say caption dot inner HTML, because we are going to update everything in there with this dot alt attribute. Now let's try to run this example, and voila, there you are. And on close, all I'm doing is hiding the modal, which is on click of this get element by ID, I'm just doing none. I can also remove this from here and do it out here. So I can put it like this, which is close dot on click is equals to function of, here you will do modal dot style dot display is equals to none. Let's run this example. Close this, run this, close this. Fantastic, right? Everything works like a charm. So that was a very simple example of using images with modal, and you can turn any static, a very normal portfolio website of yours into a modal kind of a feature where it looks very trendy, very modern using this styling. Of course, I'll be sharing the start and the end files for these, so you can play along and try to do it by yourself. Of course, if you have any question, you can write it to me in the comments or in the Q&A section, or probably check out the Slack community, and I will always be there to answer your questions. That's all for this lecture. I'll see you in the next class.